Last week, my friend Marcus told me something that stuck with me. He's a software engineer, makes over $120,000 a year, graduated from a top university with honors. By any measure, he's intelligent and successful. But he also has $15,000 in credit card debt and almost nothing saved. When I asked him how that happened, he said, "I don't know. I'm smart about everything else in my life. Why am I so stupid with money?" Here's the thing. Marcus isn't stupid with money. None of us are. But we've been taught that money is about math and logic. That's only about 20% of it. The other 80%? Pure psychology. Today, I want to talk about why managing money has almost nothing to do with how smart you are and everything to do with how you think and feel about it. Here's something that surprised me. There's almost no correlation between intelligence and financial success. I know doctors who are broke. I know high school dropouts who are millionaires. I know people with finance degrees who can't stick to a budget, and people who barely passed math who somehow always have money saved. Why? Because being good with money isn't about what you know. It's about how you behave, and behavior is driven by psychology, not intelligence. We all know we should save money. We all know credit card debt is expensive. We all know we should invest for retirement. The information is everywhere. Yet most people still struggle. That's not an information problem, that's a behavior problem. Let me tell you about two people I know, Lisa and Tom. They both work at the same company, making about $75,000 a year. They started around the same time, about 8 years ago. Today, Lisa has $80,000 saved and invested. Tom has about $3,000 in his checking account and maybe $8,000 in a retirement account he never looks at. What's the difference? It's not intelligence. Tom actually has a master's degree. It's not income. They make the same amount. The difference is their psychology around money. Lisa grew up in a household where her parents lost their home during the 2008 financial crisis. She watched them scramble, stress, and struggle. That experience wired something deep in her brain. Uncertainty is dangerous, and savings equals safety. She doesn't have a fancy budget system. She just automatically saves 30% of every paycheck before she sees it. It's not a rational calculation. It's an emotional need. Tom grew up differently. His parents always had enough. Money appeared when needed. He never saw them worry about it. So deep down, Tom believes money will always work itself out. He's not careless. He thinks about saving, plans to invest, but when a concert comes up or his friends want to take a trip, spending feels fine because money has always been there when he really needed it. Same intelligence, same income, completely different outcomes. That's psychology. Here's something most people don't realize. Your relationship with money was basically formed by the time you were 10 years old. Not your knowledge about money, your feelings about it, the deep subconscious beliefs that drive your behavior. If you grew up hearing money doesn't grow on trees and we can't afford that, you might be wired towards scarcity thinking. You might hoard money even when you don't need to, or feel guilty spending on anything that's not essential.
If you grew up watching a parent work constantly but still struggle, you might believe deep down that wealth is impossible, that the system is rigged. If you grew up watching your parents fight about money, you might avoid looking at your bank account entirely because money equals conflict and stress. I know someone, Rachel, who makes excellent money but will drive 20 minutes out of her way to save $2 on groceries. Then she'll come home and spend $50 on takeout without thinking about it. That's not rational, but it makes sense when you understand her story. Her mom was obsessive about grocery deals. Rachel absorbed that. Groceries equals need to save. Restaurant food equals treat. No rules apply. Our money behaviors are full of these inconsistencies because they're not based on logic. They're based on emotional patterns we absorbed before we could even understand what money was. Every purchase you make is solving an emotional need, not just a practical one. And most of the time, we're not even aware of what that emotional need is. I have a friend named Kevin who buys new sneakers almost every month. Does he need them? No. He has a closet full of barely worn shoes. But here's what I realized. Kevin works a job he hates in a company that doesn't appreciate him. He feels powerless most days. But when he buys new limited edition sneakers, for that moment, he feels in control. Those shoes aren't about his feet. They're about feeling powerful in a life where he feels powerless. Or think about the last time you treated yourself after a hard day. Was it because you needed that item, or because buying it gave you a hit of dopamine that made you feel better? We shop to feel in control. We shop to feel successful. We shop to feel like we belong. We shop because we're bored, stressed, or avoiding something else. And here's the tricky part. Those emotional needs are real. Kevin really does need to feel more in control of his life. The problem is that shopping doesn't actually solve those underlying needs. It just temporarily masks them. Here's maybe the most important thing. Knowing what to do and actually doing it are completely different things. Everyone knows they should save for emergencies. Everyone knows they should invest for retirement. Everyone knows they shouldn't buy things they can't afford. But knowledge doesn't change behavior. If it did, no doctor would smoke, no nutritionist would eat junk food, and no financial advisor would carry credit card debt. Yet all of those things happen. Why? Because in the moment, emotions override logic every single time. You know you should save that $200, but you're stressed from work. You've been wearing the same clothes for 3 years, and there's a sale happening right now. The emotional need for relief and the fear of missing out overpower your logical knowledge that you should save. This is why budgets fail. This is why New Year's resolutions don't stick. It's not because you're weak or undisciplined. It's because you're human, and humans are emotional creatures who sometimes make rational decisions, not rational creatures who sometimes get emotional.
Okay, so if psychology drives everything, what can you actually do about it? You can't rely on willpower in emotional moments. So make your good decisions when you're calm and rational. Then automate them so you don't have to think. Set up automatic transfers to savings on payday. Automate your investment contributions. Automate your bill payments. Remove the opportunity for your emotional brain to interfere. Lisa doesn't have better willpower than Tom. She just automated everything 8 years ago and never had to make the decision again. Spend time thinking about what you learned about money growing up. What did your parents say about it? How did they act around it? You can't change your past, but you can recognize when old patterns are running your current decisions. When you feel a strong emotional pull to spend or hoard or avoid, pause and ask, is this present me making this decision? Or is this childhood me reacting to an old story? If you always overspend on food delivery, delete the apps. If you impulse buy online, remove your saved credit card information. If you avoid checking your bank balance, set up a simple system where you see it every morning. You can't willpower your way through a bad environment. Make the right choice the easy choice. Address the real need. When you feel the urge to spend, pause and ask, what am I actually feeling right now? What do I really need? If you're stressed, maybe you need a walk, not a shopping cart. If you're feeling powerless, maybe you need to have a hard conversation, not a new purchase. If you're bored, maybe you need a project, not another subscription. Sometimes you'll still buy the thing, but at least you'll know why, and you can make a conscious choice instead of an automatic reaction. Here's what I wish someone had told me earlier. There's no perfect way to manage money. There's only what works for your psychology. Some people need to track every dollar to feel in control. Others find that suffocating and do better with a simple save first, spend the rest approach. Some people are motivated by big goals like early retirement. Others need smaller, tangible rewards to stay on track. The best financial strategy is the one you'll actually follow, and you'll only follow something that aligns with how your brain works, not how someone else's brain works. Marcus, the guy I mentioned at the beginning, he's making progress now, not because he learned more about money, but because he got honest about why he was spending. Turns out, his spending was filling a gap where career fulfillment should be. He's working on the real issue now, and his money situation is improving as a side effect. Your relationship with money is one of the longest relationships you'll have in your life. It's worth understanding it, not just managing it. If this resonated with you, drop a comment about your own money story. What beliefs about money did you grow up with? And if you found this valuable, hit that like button and subscribe for more content about the real human side of personal finance. Thanks for watching. See you next time.